we're breaking free. Yeah, we're breaking free. No oppression is out for liberty, breaking free. Yeah, we're taking a stand. Freedom's in our hearts, we're reclaiming our land. They try to silence us, but we won't be tamed. Voices getting louder, can't keep us in chains. We got the power, we got the might. Together we can shine, together we can fight. Feel the rhythm in your feet, it's time to stand tall. Raise your voice and shout, we're breaking down the walls. We're breaking free, yeah, we're breaking free. No oppression is out for liberty, breaking free. Yeah, we're taking a stand. Freedom's in our hearts, we're reclaiming our land. They try to silence us, but we won't be tamed. Voices getting louder, can't keep us in chains. We got the power, we got the might. Together we can shine, together we can fight. Feel the rhythm in your feet, it's time to stand tall. Raise your voice and shout, we're breaking down the walls. We're breaking free, yeah, we're breaking free. No oppression is out for liberty, breaking free. Yeah, we're taking a stand. Freedom's in our hearts, we're reclaiming our land. We're claiming our land.
I hate this show. Oh my goodness.
That Frida still catches me off guard every time. Oh my God. Welcome to Are You Smarter Than a Politician? This is the political cage match where bold solutions win and bad ideas get wrecked. Tonight, power isn't just laws anymore. It's code, data, algorithms, and systems you never voted on. We're digging into money, surveillance, borders, policing, punishment, and consent, and asking whether technology is protecting freedom or locking it in. Joining us are three notable political minds and buddies of mine who care deeply about these questions and don't always agree on how power should be defined. No speeches, no dodging, just choices. Get ready because tonight you decide who is smarter than a politician. Joining us, my buddy, he does the Aiming Up podcast and he runs Anarcho Syndicate Clothing, which is anarchosyndicate.com. And he also has Black Lives Matters merch on there. You can follow him on X at BGetsBetter. Brent Freeman, how are you tonight, buddy?
I'm doing great, Free. Thank you so much for having me. I got one small correction, though. It's not Black Lives Matter, it's Black Guns Matter. So we got that collaboration with Maj Touré and Solutionary Center and all that. So it's a little bit different thing there.
Did I screw it up or the slide's wrong. That's my bad.
BGM, not BLM, whatever. Everyone knows what we're talking about.
I think I've done that probably about 10 times on the show, but yeah, perfect. Yeah. Maj is an awesome guy. Black Guns Matter is awesome. They have great merch. You have great merch as well. Excellent. Anything else you want to plug?
Just Aiming Up podcast. Trying to get the podcast going. I work for a big tech company, evil tech company during the day. Trying to not do that anymore. So help us out.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us. Also joining us this time as his regular self, Kyle Davis. He's part of LP Alliance that's doing amazing work, bringing us all together in the Libertarian Party. His X handle, I can never pronounce. It's like orifice something was here or Orcananus or something. I can't even read it. It's on the screen though, if you want to follow him. And you can also follow the good people at LP Alliance at LP_allies. That was a stellar introduction. How are you tonight, Kyle?
I'm pretty good. It's okay. Free's making fun of the guy that just had back surgery and is just getting over the flu because Free has no morals. It's just how it goes.
That's true. Anything you want to plug?
Absolutely. LP Alliance is doing a pretty big push starting soon, where we're trying to get 75 Povertarians to Grand Rapids. And so we're about to give a whole bunch of information about a really cool party that's coming out and it's going to happen in March. And so people should keep their eyes peeled for that. We'll have a bunch of great libertarian speakers and kind of like a cooler telethon.
Very cool. And yeah, I should have made the whole theme of the show kicking people while they were down, and then just made you the tackle dummy for that episode. But no, great to have you here. Hope glad you're feeling better, and hopefully you mend quick because we need you. Last but not least, just saw him in Georgia as well. Saw Kyle there. Just saw Sergio Ortega in Georgia. He is the chair of the Classical Liberal Caucus. On X, you can find him at Sergio for Liberty. How are you tonight, buddy?
Dude, I'm doing amazing. I'm glad to be here on behalf of the caucus.
Excellent. You're joining us from a high school dean's office?
Yes, this is my high school dean's office. I've got pictures of Chase and all the rest, and my Trump is a pedo sign.
Yeah. You could have done that in permanent marker, but yeah. And we're off YouTube, but
Darn.
Glad to have you. Oh, I should have asked you, anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I mean, the Classical Liberal Caucus, we're in the process of our state convention plan. We're now showing up at California, Illinois, and Pennsylvania, Alabama, probably Texas, maybe Louisiana. So, I mean, as much as we can get some help, I'd really appreciate people going to the Classical Liberal Caucus, checking us out, and maybe seeing what they could do to help us out.
Excellent. Yeah, definitely check that out. And just follow Sergio on X to find out that information. And last but not least, joining us as always, our lovely producer, Terry Batts. How are you tonight, Terry?
Busy. How are you guys doing tonight? You ready to go? I certainly am, because they're already like putting all kinds of stuff in there. And congratulations, Chris. You're the only one that got the joke. 200 points to Chris.
All right. And you can follow Terry and I on X. I am Smarter Game Show. She is Bat T76. Our swag is at freedomsuperstore.com. I am wearing the Make Anarchy Great Again shirt tonight. We have a bunch of shirts and mugs there. Terry puts all of our shorts up on YouTube at Freedom Uncut. And our Friday night show is sponsored by Xano. If you're tired of surveillance coins dressed up as freedom tech, Xano is the real deal. Open source, enterprise grade privacy, scalable and secure. Build, spend, and tokenize any asset without the peeping eyes. Xano isn't just private, it's none of their business. And if you're new to this space, visit intro.xano.org to learn how Xano gives you the power to own your own data, your money, and your assets, all in one simple, secure platform built for real world freedom. And once again, that website is intro.xano.org. And we're back on the convention tour starting next week. We are headed to sunny San Diego, California. That convention is February 13th through 15th. And we're doing 5 more live shows at state conventions, and you can be there. Come meet fellow freedom lovers, watch the show live, and see contestants put to the test. And if you want real change, join your state party, become a delegate, and help shape the national convention. Don't just talk about liberty, live it. And we're so excited about this. Terry and I are hosting a live 3-hour extravaganza supporting the amazing organization, You Are the Power. Our buddy Spike Cohen takes on a gauntlet of formidable friends with plenty of suspense, chaos, and laughs, all for a great cause. Join us March 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern. First, we reinvented political shows. Now we're reinventing fundraisers, big guests, real impact, one powerful cause. Thank you to all of our subscribers, Terry, Amity, Ocean Blue, Shirley, Dr. Belay and Lisa, Dan, Chris, Casey, Dave, Jake, Phil, Jacob, and of course, the amazing Anarcho Syndicate Clothing and Brent Freeman, and Rob, Papa B, and Lars Mapstead, all subscribers. If you'd like to subscribe to us on X, you can do so there for exclusive content. This is your backstage pass. And if you'd like to sponsor the show, go to studio@freedomuncut.com. Let's jump into the chat and see what's going on. Travis is here. What's up, Travis? I've been telling everybody you wouldn't take the Trump nativity set, by the way. Amity's here. What's up, Amity? Happy free day, Chris. Unbelievable lineup, 200 each to the three of the best Liberty Warriors out there. That's 100% correct. The Big Lebowski remake looks weird. What's up, Cy? Rev Dr. Quinn is here. Welcome. First 200 to my anarchist BFF Brent.
Yeah.
Look at Kyle sitting up straight, 200 points. That is a huge accomplishment. Caden Henderson's here. Welcome. 200 for BLM, BGM, BFI. I think I just BF'd the whole thing, but yeah, those points go to Brent. 100 to Brent for being the first BLM Democrat that agreed to do the show. They've been looking for diversity. Yeah, thank you.
DEI is not dead, people.
Yeah. 200 to Sergio for broadcasting from his dorm room. Yeah. Yeah. Throw your bunk beds into the back of the shop.
It's an office.
150 to Sergio for being brave enough to come back to this melee. Who the F pronounces the S in Illinois? Illinois. Welcome, Tim. 200 to Kyle for sticking up for povertarians. Did I hear that right? Yes, he is. 100 to Kyle for shaving his beard in memory of the one I had to shave for my respiratory fit kit. # solidarity. Is that why you were in the girls' corner Tuesday, Cy? Yeah, Cy did the whole thing from his craft corner. It was pretty beautiful. 200 to Brent for subscribing to free. Yeah, thank you.
Crony capitalism, baby.
Yep. Oh, Paul Dar's here. Seems like this might be another pretty okay show. Hey, thank you, Paul Dar. We know those are big words from a big man in the Liberty movement, so we'll take it. Awesome. Let's jump into it here. All right. Please share this out and get a bunch of people to hear my three amazing Liberty friends here. Since the peace prizes don't matter anymore, we decided our grand prize is going to be the Are You Smarter Than a Peace Prize? We also have on the prize shelf Mike Johnson's signature cologne Swamp Ass, as well as the Ayn Rand Fountainhead teddy bear. We also have the home edition of Are You Smarter Than a Politician if you want to annoy your friends and neighbors. We also have plenty of Liberty bobbleheads. We've got Ron Paul. We've got Justin Amash. We've got Lysander Spooner. We've got a bunch of great ones up here. We also have the ICE Agent Training Kit. Everything you need to know to become a real ICE agent in 30 minutes. It's got guns for dummies. It's got an honorary GED degree. It's got disguises so you don't embarrass your neighbors and friends. It's everything you need. If you think you're unemployable, this kit will make you instantly employable. And we have our new game, Drone Wars, spread freedom, one drone strike at a time, endless war, collect resources, topple regimes, and infinite downloadable content. We also, if you're feeling a little foggy, power through the fog with our Orange Mush anti-dementia formula, boosts memory, sharpens focus, clears confusion, make your brain great again. We also have the inaction figures if you want to get nothing done while you're playing with them. And nobody will take this piece of crap. So somebody literally has to take it. Lars wouldn't take it. Marcus wouldn't take it. Nobody will take this thing. Please take the Trump Nativity set. It's February. Somebody's got to take it, please. We also have the Lego Killdozer because nobody talks about the Killdozer more than me and Casey do. Here's the rules. I am the government. Whatever I say goes. Scoring errors count. Life isn't fair. Suck it up, Buttercup. Nobody cares. The rules are you have one debate, one filibuster. If you can't abide by the rules and give us a quick answer, you have one veto, a tariff, redistribute an answer, and everybody starts off with negative 500 points because the government gets paid first. Here's how scoring works. The chat controls the score. So you in the chat can give or take up to 100 points from the contestants. Tell us why you think it was a great answer or why you didn't, or pick on them for what they're wearing, whatever you want to do. Also, because the government believes in crony capitalism, subscribers can give or take up to 200 points because they pay me, so they matter more. Nuking the scores. Any former contestant can nuke a score, taking it down 1,000 points. Contestants can only be nuked one time, and there has to be a good reason, so use it strategery. Strategery? Was that how Bush said it? Yeah. All right. Lightning round. I'm going to put Terry in the back. She controls the chat and the scoring. Make her life incredibly difficult. Thanks, Terry. All right, Brent, to you. Category is fiscal responsibility. Should budgets be passed without line item vetoes? It's supposed to say.
No. It's lightning round, right? I got to go quick.
Well, no, you give a yes or no, and then give me a little reason why.
Yeah, I don't think that line item vetoes are going to do anything. Like people always have this giant panacea, like, oh, if the president just has the ability to cut certain things out, like it's going to solve everything. And I think it's all bullshit. I think it's all performative. I think it's not really going to solve anything. I think government is fundamentally broken, and having this little tweak in here isn't going to do anything to fix anything. We're screwed.
And we started off on a positive note.
We're trying to lose today, Free.
Yeah. All right, Kyle, to you. Should debt have a legal cap?
For who? Like,
Government.
Should the government debt have a legal cap? I mean, of course it should. The government shouldn't be able to have debt because the government doesn't make money. If someone doesn't make money, they shouldn't be able to have debt. Generate value.
Ooh, you had me with the arm motion. That really sealed it for me. Sergio, to you. Should technology reduce government size?
Yes, we should use the flock cameras on our government officials and track their every movement.
We had a feisty group tonight. This is going to make my life a little harder, but I'm in for it. Brent, back to you. Category is budget transparency technology. Should budgets be machine readable?
Oh, I would say yes. Like if you're going to live in the paradigm that we're living in, it would be great to have machine readable budgets, because right now we've got no transparency in anything. We have no idea where any of this money is going. The public is completely in the dark.
Yeah, I asked Massey one time. I said they should give you at least a spreadsheet or something, so when we look at these things, we can see where the money's going. Why don't they do that? And I go, wait, I just answered my own question. Never mind. But yeah, I'm with you on that. Kyle, to you. Should spending be visible in real time?
Oh yeah. Like the only times things shouldn't be immediately open to everybody is if there is an actual operation that has been like approved by Congress in an actual wartime moment. Anything that is happening with our money, we should know about as it's happening, before it happens realistically. This is like, they're effectively contractors. We're asking for things that are going on, and as they are forced to buy anything extra, we should see those line items, just like we would for someone who's, working on anything in our house.
Agreed. Sergio, to you. Should hidden spending be illegal?
Oh yeah, I mean, if I hide spending on my own credit card, I get in trouble from people at home. So I don't understand why the government gets a free pass to spend whatever they want.
I agree. Brent, back to you. Category is government corruption. Should corruption be treated like treason?
Oh, that's a tough one. It's like, define corruption. I think government is corruption. These people go to DC and they operate with exactly the opposite ethics that the citizens are held to. So I think, government itself is corruption. If you're in a government paradigm and you're talking about whatever the layperson might consider corruption, then yes, like we can end them. So that would be great in my view. Like I talked to Amity this week, and I'm like, I've altered my view on the death penalty. For government employees, 100%. I'm on board with that one. For citizens, no.
Like Sean Collins calls it Christmas ornaments, right?
There you go.
Yep. Kyle, to you. Should politicians be banned from trading stocks?
Oh, man. I think politicians should be banned. But in seriousness on this one, politicians are people. So the rules for trading stocks should be the same for the politicians as they are for people. The thing is, if we have insider trading laws and everything for people, those should apply for Congress too. If we're not going to have that, then it shouldn't really be there for Congress. We need some kind of consistency in this. But the problem is that government has no consistency, so just get rid of the politician.
Totally. Sergio, to you. Should whistleblowers be protected? Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I mean, we can't see half the things our government does, so whistleblowers are pretty essential.
No doubt. Brent, to you. Category is Bill of Rights usage. Should rights require government permission to exercise?
That's a ridiculous premise. Rights are inherent. These are things that are part of your body, your property. You own yourself, and you can exercise these rights. You don't need permission from another human. It violates Aristotle's law of identity. A equals A. Person A, person B, we're identical. We're the same. We have the same rights. We can exercise them without asking somebody for permission.
I take a lot of flack for my questions being ridiculous, but is it not true today that they require permission?
It is, and that is absolutely illogical and stupid, and just no.
Okay, just checking, all right, Kyle, you. Should emergencies pause constitutional rights?
No. I mean, like, the Constitution is telling you what rights you have. Period. It's not saying that those rights are coming from the government. It's saying that you have these rights, and you should be aware of these rights, and you should always fight for these rights. Someone saying, "Oh, there's an emergency, so we're just going to take your rights away." No, you're not. I still have my Second Amendment right. I still have my First Amendment rights, and I intend to use those things to protect my rights and the people around me. Period.
All right. Sergio, to you. Should rights apply equally online and offline?
Yeah, I mean, there's no difference between using the First Amendment on a computer and like going down to your town square and protesting. A right's a right is a right, or whatever.
I like it. Back to you, Brent. Category is due process. Should asset seizures happen without a criminal conviction?
Oh, hell no. This is one of the worst features of our current government. For those who aren't aware, civil asset forfeiture allows the government to, without a charge, charging with a crime, without convicting you of a crime, just to steal your shit and take it and then say to you, it's on you to come sue us to try to get it back. It is one of the most egregious things in the known universe at this point. It's terrible. It's got to stop.
Totally agree. Kyle, to you. Should secret evidence be allowed in courts?
Yes, right. If I don't have to give incriminating evidence for myself, then why would I have to give evidence that would be more public beyond that? There are things that, it's just because I've been accused of a crime doesn't mean that my privacy gets violated thereby in proving that I'm not the criminal.
Okay. Sergio, to you. Should the burden of proof ever be shifted to the accused?
Oh no, God no. I mean, our government can barely prosecute a case nowadays, and so now they're just trying to like shift the rules to make it so you're assumed guilty until proven innocent. That's just a way to get around their duty. I mean, no, God no.
All right. Enter your scores in the chat if you've not done so already. Let's jump into the chat. It is hopping. Just know works best sometimes. 200 to Brent.
Yeah.
Don't ruin my show, Chris. It would be really boring if we just said no to everything. Mark Sims is here. What's up, Mark? I think Mark's running for office in Texas, and I'll see him in a couple of months. 100 to Brent for broken government. Jake's here. What's up, Jake? 200 to Brent for the cynicism.
It's realism,
there's going to be
sir.
a lot. There's going to be a lot of cynicism. There's going to be gallons of cynicism. 200 to Kyle. The government shouldn't have debt. 200 to Kyle for reminding me of Foggy Nelson from Daredevil. That's fair. 100 to Kyle for the hand gestures he stole from the Wicked musical. Oh, Dan's here. What's up, Dan? 200 to Sergio for using flock cameras on the government. I love that. 100 to Sergio for intimidating Kyle and Brett with the principal's office background. Hashtag PTSD. 200 to Kyle. Oh, Rob Yates is here. What's up, Rob? Rob's running for chair of the Libertarian Party. 200 to Kyle for quietly being one of the best human beings I've ever met. Oh, that's a huge compliment. Dan's got 1,000 for Sean's Christmas tree ornaments. 100%. the great Buds in Reality on X. 100 to Sergio, track government, not citizens. 200 to Brent for being a good sport, even though I can see his face. It makes me want, it wants to answer every question with abolish the government. Yeah, he's trying his best. 100 to Kyle for banning politicians all day long. 200 to Kyle ban Congress. 100, I think politicians should be banned. 200 to Brent for natural rights. Leslie Batts is here, who I'm interviewing tomorrow at 2 p.m. She's talking about the bill she's working on for medical rights in Oklahoma. So that'll be fun. And Leslie's got permission for rights. 100 to Brent. 100 to Chase Oliver, who's been oddly quiet the entire time. That's Chase right there.
That's a good one. Yeah. He's right here.
For those of you that can see it, he's the one that's holding up the power strip that Sergio stapled to the wall in the principal's office there. 200 to Kyle, rights don't come from the government. 200 to Sergio, a right is a right is a right. 20 to Kyle, 10 for each from Bill of Rights mentioned. 100 to Kyle and Sergio for using the term right at least 3 times per answer. Civil asset forfeiture is theft. 200 to Brent. 200 for inherent rights. 100 to Brent because I hate civil asset forfeiture so much. Mike's here. What's up, Mike? Thanks for the repost. Share this out, everybody. Hey, everybody. I was able to escape, so popping in for a bit. Appreciate having you here, bud. 100 to Sergio for innocent until proven guilty. 100 more if he can explain that to my wife. I got
that's not the government. I can't help you there.
Yeah, I got court papers that say that's really hard to do. 100 to Kyle for the
Sparta Pines
background. The great Joe Hanoush is here, my buddy in Florida that I'm hopefully going to see at the Florida convention in a couple of weeks here. 100 to libertarians running to take over the government so they can leave us alone. 100%. And 200 to Brent for being a principled badass. Facts. Casey's here. What's up, Casey? I am in the lame YouTube chat tonight. X chat is better than YouTube chat. Check out Casey's show. They both suck semi-annually on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. He hates when I say that, so now I say it every time. And all right. Oh, I forgot to add the scoreboard. Let me add the scoreboard here. It was because Casey popped up that I forgot what I was doing and forgot to add the scoreboard. I blame you, Casey.
Casey is distracting. Right. It's true.
He likes when I hit the wrong button so very much that it comes naturally then. All right, here we go. Brent in the lead, 1,700. Kyle, 1,380. Sergio, 1,050. Sergio, you're in third place so far. What do you think?
It's the government's fault.
That's probably true. I'll take blame for the entire show. Kyle, second place. You're barely holding yourself up right there. How you doing?
I'm making it. I got my water. I've got my Zycam. I'll make it. Probably. I need points to sustain me though.
Pity points.
Now, that's gonna lose me points. That's how that works.
Yeah, that is exactly how that works. Brent, first place so far. What do you think?
I'm trying to lose, and I'm kind of pissed off. This is not working out, and you predicted it, Free. You told me this is not going to work out well. So,
no,
somebody
our
nuke
buddy
me.
Zach Kaiser tries that every time, and it doesn't work out well. He's going for a golf score. I lost 200 points for getting distracted like a politician. That's absolutely fair. Thanks for noticing, Casey. I thought you might miss that. All right, let's jump back into it here. Back to you, Brent. The category is death penalty. Should the state ever have the power to execute someone?
Unequivocally, no. The state shouldn't. I think that power rests with the people, like I mentioned earlier, directed towards the state. Death penalty for the government, leave the people alone.
All right. Kyle, to you, should federal authorities overrule states on executions?
The government is the government is the government. So at any level of government, them saying that you should be put to death is bullshit. So if the federal government wants to come in and stop Georgia from killing somebody, I'm fine with that. It'd be the first good usage of the government on the death penalty I've heard of.
All right. Sergio, to you, should execution decisions be up for public review?
No, I don't trust the public to say no. It should just be no executions, period. Point blank. No need to hold a vote. It's just banned.
What if there are executions, though?
In that case, sure. But then we're starting to legitimize the death penalty institution if we give it some form of, authority that's kind of backed with the public will, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm with you. No good answers other than get rid of it. Brent, to you, category is 2A in the age of unmanned and direct energy weapons. Should self-defense laws apply against machines, not just people?
Yeah, 100%. We're getting into weird territory, and this is something that I think that libertarians aren't paying enough attention to, and pro 2A advocates, is that the government is developing and announcing that they've got directed energy weapons. We don't even know what they've got, and we can't have them. They're currently banned. I don't know if everyone knows this, but having these types of lasers or any type of directed energy weapon is currently banned. And we have drone technology, and we should be able to defend ourselves from anyone who's deploying that type of technology with the exact same technology.
Totally agree. And I especially agree that people aren't talking about it and don't know about it. So thanks for bringing that up. Kyle, to you. Should drones owned by citizens be regulated like firearms or aircraft?
Oh, I mean, absolutely, right? There should be no regulations on them. This seems pretty obvious to me as someone who has flown drones and is an aerospace engineer. Anytime you have a small thing that you're flying around with a camera, the problem is not that you're flying a drone by someone's house, it's that you're looking into their house and everything else. No one gets mad and shoots the plane that's flying up high. It should be the same for drones. Your firearms, the government has no right to know what you have and don't have. Your property is your property is your property.
Totally agree. Sergio, to you. Should weapon laws change because technology has advanced?
Yeah, I mean, the government shouldn't be able to own weapons based off technology. Like that's what should change. It's not what the citizen can own that needs to change. It's what the government can own.
I agree. Brent, back to you. Category is criminal justice reform. Should prosecutors be personally accountable for misconduct?
100,000,000%. The prosecutorial misconduct in this country, the way they railroad innocent people that they know are innocent. And we have a laundry list of these people we can think of off the top of our heads. And those are just the tip of the iceberg. People are getting railroaded by the justice system. The prosecutors know it. They're in on it. They get reelected based on their conviction rate. They don't give a shit if people are innocent or guilty. They just want their conviction or a plea deal or whatever. They should all be, reference my original answer on the death penalty, and you can connect the dots without getting free show canceled.
We appreciate that. We'd like to be on for at least, the length of the show. So, Kyle, to you. Should AI risk tools influence parole decisions?
Fuck no. For the people who aren't aware of this, these are algorithms that the people who made them don't understand. They don't understand how the things are working because they've trained it on a model of people and said, okay, there you go. We don't know how it works, but we think it's going to know better than any human or even you if you're going to commit more crimes and things, so we're going to keep you in prison more. That is nonsense. As a matter of fact, as a general rule, the government shouldn't be using AI on citizens ever. They have no reason to make up shit about me, which is what AI does. It hallucinates things. No one should get to hallucinate about me and make that fact. That's insanity. Insanity.
Absolutely. Sergio, to you. Should prisons be run for profit?
No. Whenever we have a for-profit prison, almost always it ends up having just since there's no oversight, since the government can kind of throw in anyone they want into a prison, you can kind of cut corners and do whatever you want to increase profit. There's a perverse incentive there, if that makes sense, to keep people inside than to let them out. So that's just the problem with government, is that anything it touches, even though private market gets corrupted, it spreads like a virus.
All right, interesting. I like it. Brent, to you. Categories law enforcement. Should police use facial recognition in public spaces?
Not government police. I think this is one of the most dangerous things that people aren't talking about. And this is something that the right and libertarians in some circles are getting sucked into. That this whole ICE thing, they're so caught up on we want to get rid of the illegals. And they don't realize the government's running a beta trial of Palantir facial facial recognition technology and AI in the background, and you're clapping like seals while you're sort of sealing your fate. Like this is super dangerous. It should not be in use at all.
All right, I agree. Kyle, to you. Should federal agencies police local communities?
No. Federal agencies should can't even be trusted to police themselves. They can't be trusted to police anything at this point. Not that they ever really could. Federal agencies shouldn't even be policing like local agencies. They should be dealing with their level of responsibility, their authority, and never going outside of that. And I think that Brent's got the right idea on what level of authority they should have here.
All right. Sergio, to you. Should surveillance replace patrols?
Just that question makes me so gross because I know how Georgia is and how that's becoming our reality. No, God, no. I mean, there was a case recently in Georgia where we had a police chief kind of like stalk his ex-girlfriend with flock camera data, and I've been like making ads and stuff against that. It's so surveillance is so gross. So no, we should not replace it. We should not use it to replace patrols.
I tell you, I've seen like a dozen articles without even searching for them about police stalking women with surveillance tools. And, so everybody that's voting for it, that you might be voting for that too. Just FYI. Totally agree. Brent, to you. Categories police reform. Should body cameras be mandatory at all times?
In this current paradigm with the government policing situation, with all these incidents that happen, I would say yes. And they should be forced to be on at all times. This sort of shutting them off and doing this nasty shit, that's got to stop. I think this is the only way we have some visibility into doing a post hoc analysis of any type of police encounter. And in this current paradigm, like I said, I want private policing. I don't want this. But in our current paradigm, I would say yes.
I'm in favor of surveillance on all government employees at all times. So I'll take your answer and take the over on it.
So you're suggesting that Congress should also have body cams, and we can choose which one we're doing, like race footage.
Yep, 100%.
Dude, I'd watch a live stream of just Thomas Massey walking around Congress.
Get to choose your fighter.
All right, Kyle, to you. Should police unions override public accountability?
No. Police unions should not have ever been able to convince the government to do anything. Police unions being able to say that, qualified immunity. No such thing. You're doing a job, you do a bad job of it, there are repercussions. That's how it is. Every cop's an individual. They should be treated that way. As the system is now, cops get treated as some unit where they're all magical, fairy dust, perfect people, and that's ridiculous. The police unions are one of the worst things that have happened in the country.
Totally. Sergio, to you. Should community oversight boards have firing power?
Yeah, especially in Atlanta, there's always constantly some police officer who makes a mistake, and it's like something that's blatantly obviously wrong, but then police unions or the police chiefs here almost always come to the defense like, oh, he's a rookie, or oh, he's a veteran. Apparently you can't be fired if you're too new, you can't be fired if you're too old, you can't be fired if you're in the middle because you're just settling in. There's almost never a good time to get fired. So that's why we need civilian oversight boards to do it, because they're not gonna give cover to their friend. They're going to fire the cop who needs to be fired.
Yeah, he only shot the unarmed mom 3 times, that kind of stuff.
He was having a bad day, clearly.
Yeah. Enter your scores in the chat if you have not done so already. 100 to Kyle for points sustenance. Oh, here we go. That worked out. That
Pity
worked out.
points. Come on.
Here we go. 100 to Kyle to sustain. Minus 100 to Kyle for asking for
There we go.
Paul Dar being principled. Michael's here. What's up, Michael? 100 to everyone because I'm magnanimous. You're also magnificent, by the way. Jonathan's here. What's up, Jonathan? 100 to Kyle, deregulate everything. 100 to Kyle for property is property is property. 200 to where did I go? 200 to Brett for crooked process.
He's hiding the points.
I'm like Casey 2.0 now. You're starting to misspell my name. This is great.
Yeah. 200 for the first to say ban the CCP.
Ban the CCP.
There we go. 100 to Brent for looking a ton like that musician YouTuber Become the Night and confusing me.
Don't know what that is.
Is it because of the backwards cap? 100 for no prisons as business. 200 to Brent, no police facial recognition. 100 to Brent, F Palantir. 200 to Brent, no facial recognition. Minus 200 to my customers for making me miss the show. Yeah, that's fair. 200 to Sergio, surveillance is gross. 200 to Sergio, surveillance is gross. 100 to Sergio, I should have never dated that cop. Yeah, that's absolutely fair. Cy gets catfished every week on the show, so that happens. 200 to Brent, body cams at all times, except when they're peeing. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, but that's how we get
some people
tax
do.
revenue.
200 to Sergio, Massey live stream.
Only cops.
The Golden Shower Power Hour in Congress. I think a lot of the politicians would be nothing to see while they're peeing. Just throwing that out there. But
Pee the blue.
100 to Brent, body cam at all times. 200 to Sergio, Massey body cam. Settle down, Amity. Settle down. Samantha Jones is here. Welcome. So can we keep an eye on our crooks in Congress? That's what I'm advocating for. Absolutely. 100 to Kyle for congressional body cams. Senators gone wild. Yeah, that Senate incident too. 100 to Sergio for putting body cameras on all the bodies absolutely no one wants to have.
A bunch of old people groaning, having to like worry about their knees.
Well, in my defense, that was my idea originally, and it would be a lot of diaper changing, really. So it wouldn't wouldn't actually be bathroom breaks. So
It'd make collecting the Epstein files a whole lot simpler.
yeah. All right. Let's see where we're at. Brent's still in the lead, 3,300. Oh, jumped way out in front here. Sergio, 2,250. Kyle, 1,980. Let's go back to it. This is sponsored by Xano. We appreciate them sponsoring the Friday night show. The category is crypto. To you, Brent, should the government be allowed to ban or restrict private use of crypto?
Fuck all the way off. Hell no. You have no business being in any of our financial transactions, whether it's exchanging paper, whether it's exchanging metals, whether it's exchanging crypto. Just you have no business looking into our financial transactions. Fuck off.
All right. I agree. Kyle, to you. Should states issue their own digital currency, or should the state issue its own digital currency? The federal government in this matter.
The only way to make the dollar worth less is to take the paper away it's printed on. And so, if that's what you want out of the dollar, I would like to see the dollar be backed by anything that matters and not be backed by the government.
Well, yeah, because the government for sure doesn't have any value. Sergio, to you. Should private wallets be regulated?
No, I mean like the government is already doing like civil asset forfeiture with like dollars, and now we're gonna say like, yeah, let's put them in charge of crypto. That'll work. In the meantime, let's also put Epstein in charge of a daycare. Like, no, this doesn't work out. You're giving the wrong people power.
Totally agree. But we have a presidential shitcoin, so the president's face is on that currency. So, Brent, to you, category is decentralized finance or DeFi. Should smart contracts replace institutions?
Yeah, largely, if people want them, I think people do want them. I think it is smart contracts are one of the major advances that we've seen in technology that allows us to remove government from the picture, right? This is talk about parallel systems. This is something where if you're not familiar with smart contracts, you have a full Turing complete programming language on top of a blockchain. So you can objectively validate that whatever Free and I agreed upon was done before the transaction or the exchange happens. It's super powerful, and I think it's the future, and it's a great way to get government out of our lives.
Well said and great explanation. Kyle, to you, should code be subject to laws and regulation?
Code is speech. When you look at languages that are computer languages, they're the same way in the ways they work and they express ideas that written and spoken languages. We have free speech. The things that should be punished with code are the same things that should be punished in any other language if you have committed fraud with it, like for instance, if you have a broken smart contract. It should be about what is done with it, not what any particular piece of code is, which is a huge problem with IP right now. There's a fantastic piece on this that's pretty old at this point, but it's the color of bits, and that's a thing that everybody should go read. It's like 20 minutes of your time at most.
Excellent. Sergio, to you, should failures in the crypto world be allowed?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a tough topic. Of course, you always make me defend the awkward stuff, but the market is the market. There's going to be failures. That's just how the world works. Things aren't always going to work out in your favor, and you just kind of have to, be aware of that. When you buy into a token, you are accepting the risk, but you're also accepting the possible rewards. So if there's failure, you're going to have to accept it.
You're either in a dorm room or the principal's office, so you seem smart. So that's why.
I don't have books like Brent in the background.
I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Oh boy. All right, Brent, to you, category is financial privacy. Should privacy be the default?
I guess the question would be for what, right? Like, I think transactions are all very different. I think people's appetite for various things with respect to how they transact, it changes. Some things people don't really care about privacy, and they might choose one particular medium. Other people in different situations will prefer privacy. So I like the fact of it sort of being a default that you disable, but in some instances, people just don't care. So I'd say let the market decide.
That's fair. Kyle, to you, should suspicion justify surveillance?
If the suspicion has a signed judicial warrant, then it justifies surveillance. If it doesn't have a signed judicial warrant, or we're in a, like, assuming that we're still in the society right now where we have the laws of the US right now, that's the only way. You only get violated if there is a warrant to say it is done, and that's not even the ideal. The warrants should be based from the people and based on the things that you have signed and agreed to.
Absolutely. Sergio, to you, should financial records require warrants?
Like, to get them from the government, I assume. Yeah, you need warrants to get any records of any type, especially financial. That's when you're starting to mess with people's money. And that's just really, like, a lot of times people don't see, like, the consequences of actions. Like, we see civil asset forfeiture and people are like, oh, they're enforcing the law. They're trying to protect us from criminals, not knowing that, like, whenever they take away like $20,000 from some mom who needs it, otherwise their family is going to starve. We don't see those after effects. So when it comes to financial records, those are especially important. We got to be very careful with those. Those should require a warrant.
Totally agree. Brent, to you, the category is monetary system. Should the government control the creation of money?
Absolutely not. The government should not be in the money business. Money was developed by the market. We decided how we wanted to transact, and use different things for mediums of exchange. The government getting involved has done nothing but destroy the value of our currency. It's eroded our privacy, and we're heading toward a central bank digital currency, which is going to take out the last little bit of privacy that we have. It's terribly dangerous, and they should have nothing to do with it.
Absolutely. Kyle, should central banks operate without public oversight?
Central banks should not operate.
But they do today, so what do you think?
Then everything they do, since they are being forced upon us, should have full public scrutiny. There should be huge public oversight on them. If the bank is the government, then like everything else in the government, we should see everything. We don't really have fully private or public banks right now. The entire banking system is a fucking nightmare. It's designed so that we don't get to see anything. It's designed so that the bank can decide that we have screwed up loan terms, take our house, and there's nothing we can do about it. It's designed so that if they destroy the system and crash the system, that we are the only ones that are holding the bag, or left holding the bag. You know, if a bank goes to go under, the government steps in and bails them out. If we go to go under, the bank comes and takes our house. That means that the bank is part of the system that has the monopoly of force, which means the bank is the government. The government should not be able to operate in any way ever without us being able to see what they're doing.
Totally agree. Sergio, to you, should financial crises justify emergency powers?
Oh, boy, no. Again, I'm defending the awkwardness. There is no emergency that would justify, like, okay, if in the hypothetical situation tomorrow night civil war breaks out and the government's first decision is to immediately crack down on crypto, they're immediately focused on the wrong thing. No, they don't need emergency powers and to control the market. They don't need emergency powers to oversee crypto in an emergency. You can easily manufacture an emergency. So like, no.
All right. Brent, to you, category is parallel systems. Should people opt out of state systems?
Yeah, I think they should. They legally can't. You know, like you go back to the beginning with Lysander Spooner. He ran a postal service way better than the government, and they made that shit illegal as hell. Every single thing that we want to do to create a parallel system, the government's going to make illegal. And I say, do it anyway. Fucking do it anyway. That's the only way out of this.
Okay. Kyle, to you. Should alternative systems be legal?
Yeah. Anything that you want to do, anything you want to do between you and another consenting adult in any way should be legal. As long as you aren't harming someone through force or fraud, the government shouldn't have any say in it.
Okay. Sergio, to you. Would competition from alternative systems improve governance?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if I was able to opt out of my local city government, I promise you I would have done that so long ago. I hate those guys so much. But the fact that I have no choice but to do business with them is why they continue to suck. I mean, I hate the government. I just hate the government.
All right. Enter your scores in the chat if you've not done so already. For Orwellian points to Kyle. Usually only size screws me up like that. 20 to based Brent. Absolutely zero regulation on currency at all. 200 F all the way off points to Brent. 100 to Brent for the swear jar. There we go. 200 Brent. The government needs to stay the F out of our financial transactions. 100 to Kyle for sound money. 200 to Kyle, fiat currency is awful. 100 to Kyle for not devaluing my Shroot bucks. 200 to Sergio for not allowing Epstein to run a daycare. That would be a bad idea. LMAO, points to Sergio, put JE in charge of a daycare.
No, that's not what we're doing.
See how the telephone tree works here? Points to Sergio for mentioning the Epstein files the Republicans wouldn't shut up about until recently for some reason. Wonder why.
Show them your sign, Sergio. I'm surprised nobody has commented on it. Maybe it's not legible enough. Warms my heart.
And you'll have to follow us on ham radio after that. But if you have that, you can follow us there.
Oh, I am not suicidal. Thank you.
Points to Kyle, code his speech. Points to Kyle for telling me all these fantastic things to read that I definitely won't. Points to Sergio. Sergio, markets are markets. There's no too big to fail crap. Points to Kyle for explaining privacy and safe words at the same time somehow. Points to Sergio, get a damn warrant. Oh, Kyle, no, don't encourage them to violate us on camera, but I'll still give you 200 if you put the unibrow on again. Oh, here we go. I still have nightmares from that. Gnome's here. What's up, Gnome? What if I want to be violated? If you want to be violated, tune into your show on Sunday nights on Spaces. Actually, a week from Monday, he's got the great Spike Cohen, a friend of ours, on his show. It's a week from Monday. I don't know what the date is, the 16th. So check that out. Follow Gnome to check that out. Points to Sergio for sticking up for moms with frozen assets. I thought that was going somewhere totally different.
Sounds like a good organization name.
Yeah. Get some singles.
Moms with frozen assets sounds like a place
Tampa.
that you don't go to on your school computer at Sergio's.
Oh, I got 18 jokes for that. Points to Brent. The government has destroyed our currency and privacy. Points to Brent. Government shouldn't be in the money business. 200
and the
for
Fed.
the first person to say on the Fed.
Damn it.
100 to Kyle for central banks should not operate. They'd make horrible surgeons. Yeah, that 100% true. Central banks should not operate. Plus Frida stare, 200 points. 100 to Brent for no CBDCs. 100 to Kyle and the Fed. Minus 100 to Kyle for saying our catchphrase and the Fed, not a real libertarian. 100 to Brent for fiscal transparency of the banks and government. 100 to Sergio for easily manufactured emergencies brought to you by Boeing.
I promise you, those emergencies are very difficult and complicated, and the engineers deserve all the money they're being paid.
And contracts for service that we can't question them on as well. Yep. Points to Brent for the Spooner reference. Spooner is based as hell. Also in our prize shelf bobbleheads. Effing do it. Thanks for the permission, Brent. Oops, I meant Kyle. 200 to Brent. Do it anyways. It's your only way out of this. Points to Brent. Effing do it anyways. Free men don't ask permission. See Amity for the meme. 100 to Sergio. His hatred for the government is kind of turning me on.
You don't hear that mostly.
Yeah.
You need better girls in your life.
True.
Back to the scoreboard. Brent in the lead, 4,200. Sergio's making it closer, 3,450, and Kyle just behind at 3,084. All right, back to it. Brent, to you. Category is national borders. Should border enforcement utilize mass surveillance technology?
No, the only valid borders exist around private property, people. And this is something libertarians need to sort out, man, because you don't say we can't have guns because somebody might misuse them. In the same way, you can't say that we have to have a national border because they might come and abuse welfare. It's like rights are rights. They're absolute. They're unalienable. You can't get rid of them. You can't infringe upon them. And that includes drawing a line on the sand and saying you may not cross. It's an infringement on individual rights. It's a distortion of the free market. It's terrible. It's got to stop. This is one of my pet peeves with libertarians.
All right. Kyle, to you. Should biometric tracking be required to enter the country?
No. The government should not have any information on you in any way unless you're only talking about policing or for people who have already done something wrong. Entering the country should be as simple as walking into it. It should not be something that's done through some years-long process. Like, if I live on the border of Mexico and I want to come pick a strawberry, I should be able to come pick strawberries. Like, and if someone's like, here's the money for this, great. That is free trade, that's free enterprise, and we should not be in the way of that.
All right. Sergio, to you. Should states be allowed to enforce borders independently?
I love this question because that used to be the case when borders and immigration enforcement used to be a 10th Amendment issue. And for the most part, they were also equally as corrupt when they did it. I mean, they had people, there was a lot of my favorite cases were poor homeless people in Massachusetts getting picked up and dumped in the states beside them. So no, there shouldn't be borders of any kind, state, federal, what have you.
All right. Appreciate you complimenting the question. That happens very rarely on this show, even though there's hundreds of questions.
Well, like,
Brent,
when you write good ones, we like them.
It's a stupid question.
Oh, I think Kyle might be having technical difficulties. Kyle, join us back when you figure out your dial-up situation there. All right. Brent, to you, the category is immigration reform. Should overstaying a visa be a crime?
Nah, that's an infringement, man. Like, a crime requires a victim, and there's no victim. There's nobody that's being aggrieved by somebody, even in this current paradigm. If they receive a permission slip from somebody that says you can move from A to B, I want to go visit Free's house, and Free wants to have me over there, and I buy a plane ticket and I go, and like, even with the permission slip that I overextend, like, there's no aggrieved party. There's nobody that's harmed by this free movement of people, and so fuck no.
Totally agree. And you're welcome at my house anytime.
Oh, cool. I'm moving in next week, bud.
There we go. All right. Kyle, to you. Should states set their own immigration rules?
Government is government is government at all levels. The federal government infringing on your rights is no better or no worse than the state government infringing on your rights. The local government infringing on your rights is just as bad as the other ones too. When we talk about states' rights and how it should, like, the government shouldn't be, or the federal government shouldn't be involved in those decisions, it's because each of the states is supposed to be treated like a country. And so, like in the situation between Georgia and Tennessee, it's been a problem for 250 years. Tennessee stole our fucking water, and we should be able to go to war with them. And instead, the federal government's just like, no, Tennessee can steal our water, and that's what borders have as consequences. You have people who lose out on resources to people who are like, well, this is my government. And it's like, this is nonsense. They're both people. Whoever owns the river should have the control of the water there, not some government saying, well, I've got a bigger gun than you.
I'm with you. Sergio, to you. Should work authorization be easier than residency?
Yeah, I love how awkward our government is set up, where you can come here and work, but you can't be a resident, and you can come here as a resident and maybe have work permission. I don't know. It's just such an interesting system. So honestly, residency should be as easy to get as work permission, in that you don't need permission.
Yeah, the same government that can't figure out who's on the Epstein files 20 years later is going to figure out whether people are suitable to work in a decent amount of time, right?
Aren't the criminals, right?
Yeah. And, criminals deciding who's criminals. That's an interesting paradigm in itself. Back to you, Brent. Government surveillance and privacy rights is the category. Should the government need a warrant for metadata?
Yeah, I got to couch this in the old phrase, like in this current paradigm, right? This current fucked up system that we live in, where we can't even figure out the Epstein situation, and we got $1.5 billion that's transited through his JP Morgan account, but we've got no financial transactions in the Epstein files. We can't find anything. Like, in this crazy world that we're living in, like, having the government have access to metadata, so Palantir can do what it does by stitching together other metadata and all of our publicly and privately available information to sort of provide this future crime prediction engine and all this nonsense, like that. Fuck off with that. Like, no, they should not have access to that. I guess with a warrant, yeah, I guess so. I'll grant it in this current paradigm, but as a general rule, they shouldn't have access to anything.
I agree. Kyle, to you. Should mass surveillance exist at all?
Depends on what you consider mass, because like if you have a big enough mall, maybe that mall's got cameras inside of it, but not anything that's on the government scale, not anything that's on a country scale, not anything that's on your private land or anything else. What a business decides to surveil in their business is something that's reasonable, but otherwise, no. Mass surveillance of people outside of very specific things, like where you currently are in a private area, no. Amity's got a good point that any mass surveillance any surveillance in Massachusetts is mass surveillance.
Or in a church, but in a Catholic church, it would also be mass surveillance.
Exactly right.
All right. Sergio, to you. Should private companies share data with the state?
It's so funny whenever like you see these stories of like private companies saying they had a data leak, and then like that data ends up going to Palantir and the federal government. So like it's not even that like they can or that they sell it or they give it willfully. It just happens anyways. So they shouldn't get the data, but it's going to happen anyways.
Yeah, that's probably true. Brent, to you. Should citizens be notified when they're surveilled?
Only if it's every single time. Like we should know every single time we're being surveilled by the government, full stop, man. Because it says if it was, we'd have a revolution tomorrow. Like the government would be overthrown tomorrow if we only knew.
There you go. Kyle, to you. Should surveillance tools be banned domestically?
I mean, not in private spaces again, but in public spaces and things. Yeah. The government should never be able to watch you. You should be able to have cameras in your house or watching your land to make sure you are protected. Otherwise, good to go.
Sergio, to you. Should privacy outweigh security?
Real quick, I kind of want to see that Brent is typing in chat how someone said no borders, no country, and then Brent said exactly. I love that. But anyways, can I see the question again? I wasn't paying attention. I was laughing at that.
Could you pay attention? You're on the show.
Sorry, man.
Yeah. Now Terry's putting stuff on the screen. We're screwing this all up. There's 4 words. Which one did you miss? Should privacy outweigh security?
It was the question mark that I missed. Privacy is an absolute. I mean, the government doesn't need your information to secure itself. It's not like the Civil War would be lost if they didn't see what websites I was browsing tomorrow evening. The privacy and security are almost always framed as something that works off each other. Like if you have too much privacy, you don't have security. If you have too much security, you don't have privacy. But like they're separate. They're almost always separate. I don't understand the need to like constantly surveil the things we do and connect that to security. My internet browsing history is not going to save us from a civil war.
That's what you think.
Totally agree. I got to hang out with Kyle and Sergio in Georgia. I'd met Kyle before, but I'd met Sergio for the first time in Georgia. So now we're old friends. So I'm going to mistreat him like the rest of my friends. So that was the back and forth right there. So, Brent, to you, category is centralized identity systems. Should a national digital ID exist?
Hell no, that is a terrible, terrible idea. That lays the groundwork for things like social credit scores and central bank digital currencies and everything else. There's no place for it. Like even in our government system that we're living under right now, like it is a terrible, terrible idea. It should be resisted at all costs.
Just for the record, not my terrible idea. So, Kyle, to you. Should access to government services require identity scans?
Why are there government services? Like, if the government has stolen my money and we are accepting that the government is giving someone my money, and they've stolen your money and we're accepting they're giving someone their money, I'm already angry about it. But in that situation, then like, sure, we should make sure that they are giving it to the person they say that they are. But the idea that like you have to have an identity scan, as in like some government ID that goes back to a digital ID like the previous question, no. The government should not have any way to say that you are your social security number, for instance. The government already has the ability, everyone on the planet has this ability as far as technology goes, to say there is a person out there with some ID and they exist in this particular program and I do things to them, with them. There is no reason that they have to know who you are, literally, to do those things, as long as the ID exists and you have a way to prove that you own the ID. Those are separate things. They sound like they're intrinsically linked because people are so used to IDs and those sorts of things, but they're not. Your social security number right now is private, but if you design a system that is actually such that you have a number, you can have all of those things and no one knows who's on the other end of it. Those things are not all linked together. You go through, you prove who you are, you prove everything, and then the system gives its handout, its welfare, to that number. That number can be linked to a bank account or to a check that gets sent to an address or anything else. At that point, it's on you. They don't have to know who you are. Get the government out of our lives.
Totally agree. Sergio, to you, should opting out of identity systems be legal?
I wish you could. The information that they're currently talking about the SAVE Act, how our elections are stolen, and so you need certain forms of ID, and these forms of ID don't exist. Like, they want something that proves citizenship and is also real ID compliant. In Georgia, that doesn't exist. We have driver's licenses; those are real ID, but they don't prove citizenship because green card holders can get driver's licenses. So the only option is like bringing a passport to vote. So we keep spiraling down and down because like nothing is ever enough for this government. You know, they demand real ID compliance, but now that's not enough. Now your ID also has to show that you're a citizen, but that's soon not going to be enough. And so eventually we're just going to have, we just need to opt out of these ID systems slowly and surely.
Absolutely. Brent, to you, the category is policing technology. Should predictive policing be allowed?
Hell no. This is so dangerous, everybody. This is where we're going. In case you're not aware, we've mentioned Palantir a couple of times on this show, but they're trying to move towards predictive policing, where they're going to predict your behavior based on just spider web into every single piece of public and privately available information about you. It's incredibly dangerous. It's literally Minority Report. And there's real impacts to people, and this is something that we have to have a line in the sand about this. I think publicly as a nation we need to have a discussion about surveillance tech, predictive policing technology, all of it, because it's all tied together, including like identity technology, biometrics, real ID. It's all linked to a very, very dark future they're trying to push on us.
No doubt. Kyle, to you, should tech replace officer discretion?
I mean, no. We have to be able to face our accusers for anything, right? And that includes in policing. And so there has to be an actual human being who has decided something. Similarly, there has to be a human consequence for things that have been done to us. So an officer that comes after you, and if it's illegal and everything else, you have the right to defend yourself. If a computer comes after you, what do you do? You don't have a thing to go back against Palantir. Palantir is a nameless, faceless corporation out there with technology that's also nameless and faceless. That's part of why Flock is so terrifying. Technology should not get to replace humans for human decisions.
I like that I can give you the crazy questions. Good job on that. Sergio, to you. Should policing technology vendors be liable?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up Flock again. I don't know how many cases I've seen where it's like Flock incorrectly flags a vehicle and then police stop it, draw guns on the car, start scaring the children. Those are situations that are liable to actual consequences. Like that, we haven't gotten to the point where someone's gonna be killed by a Flock camera system. It's going to happen. And so those technology companies need to be held liable for their part in some unfortunate situation like that.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy. Enter your scores in the chat if you've not done so already. Oh, the chat's really hopping now. 200 to Brent. The only borders are the ones around private property. Points to Kyle. I like strawberries. Points to Kyle for keeping my strawberries on the shelf. Points to Sergio for complimenting Free's question. Yeah, that should happen all the time. Minus 42 to Kyle for his technical difficulties.
Very unfortunate.
I love that it cost you points there.
I know, it's so good. It was worth it, though.
I didn't mean to recommend your show, no. That was an accident. But if you do tune into your show to their show a week from Monday, they have the great Spike Cohen on, and it's Gnome and Mad Dog, two buddies of mine. Jacob Winograd's here. Make sure you check out the Biblical Anarchy podcast. It's amazing. I was on, and I think most of us have been on, so it's a great show. 200 to Brent, just because I can't type and drive, or my Geico app will get onto me. 200 road points to
Ice out
everyone. Says,
Yeah, ice out
says
now.
Ice out now. Ice out now. Yep.
Ice out now.
Here we go. Sprinkled the infield there. 100 to Kyle. Laughter. A series of steroids and physical therapy is the best medicine. You're cured. Points to Sergio and Kyle for mentioning the Epstein files. The show is now banned on. We're not even on Trump Social. Don't even think that I would even try that.
But like, if you were, what would happen if we got banned? You'd lose all 3 users of Truth Social.
Yeah, I mean,
They would have left as soon as they learned we're libertarians.
have you heard the shit I've talked about Trump on this show? I mean, like, come on. I'm literally leaving the nativity scene up all year. So, and the dementia medicine too. The IRS can find $700 I spent across state lines, but it can't track the Epstein money. 200 to Brent.
It can. They just don't want to.
Yeah,
real.
that's absolutely true. Points to Kyle for reminding me that malls still exist. 11 to the tan line. Brent would get from wearing his hat backwards if he went outside.
Just check out the podcast in summertime. You'll see it.
Oh boy. Points to Brent. Tell NSA Bob to hit me up and tell me what he's doing. No more secret spying. Amity, nobody hitting you up. Points to Brent for saying the same thing at the same time in the comments. Points to Kyle for reminding us that mass surveillance times acceleration surveillance equals government force.
Such a nerd.
I mean, realistically, it's the rate of change of velocity surveillance.
God. See, scientific sometimes makes
Cross
the show better.
math.
Sometimes scientific completely ruins the show. All right. Points to Kyle, ban government surveillance. Minus 200 to Free for blaming Terry for his mess up. That's fair. That's fair. Points to Sergio for keeping his browsing history hidden. We all appreciate it. Oh, boy.
Yeah, you don't want to enter that realm.
Yeah, there's a lot of big booty Latina out there. My internet browser history will start a civil war.
Exactly,
Jacob. This show is spiraling into total anarchy.
Nice.
I think we are at the bottom of that spiral for sure. My agent laughs at my memes. That maybe the only one, Noam. So maybe you want to follow him back. 100 to Brent. No more government overreach. No board. Oh, here we go. This is what was going on. No border, no country. Exactly. Deal. That was cool. All right. 200 to Kyle for ending government services. Oh, Samantha didn't like the deal. She's out.
There goes the truth social user.
200 Brent, no digital ID. Resist all costs. 200 to Brent, red light points. 100 to Kyle, why are there no government services? 100 to Kyle for the government. IUDs or something. I wasn't paying attention. Oh my God. 100 to Kyle, no more government overreach. 200 to Brent, predictive policing is dangerous. 100 to Brent for raging against Big Brother. 100 to Kyle for testing to see if Free knows your YouTube handle. Did I? Where was it? Is it Orcanus again? Oh, here it is. Orcanus right here. Any Kyle is too much Kyle. Really? QED minus 200. How did I lose points for the Orcanus?
Because I'm on here because of you.
Oh, that's fair. I'll take that one then. 200 to Kyle. I can't face my accuser when that speed camera gets me. That's fair.
Yeah, right.
100 to Kyle because we can't say it enough. F Palantir. 100 points to whoever can say the name of Gnome's show.
Nomeo and Juliet, right? Isn't that it? No,
it's very
That's
unpopular, so nobody's going to get this one. Let's just do an awkward stare while we all don't know the name of his show. Golden Shower Power Hour, I believe it is. There we go. And Free needs some Trump branded gold diapers as a prize. Paul, for you, that will be on next week's show. That will be on. 100 to Kyle for the single tier. All right. Oh, it's getting closer. I can hear Amity laughing. Brent's in the lead, 56.89. Kyle, 54.42. Sergio, 52.50. Let's keep going and see where this heads. All right. Brent, back to you. Category is technology self-defense. Should citizens defend against digital tracking?
100,000,000%. We should be open sourcing this technology. We should be working together against this government intrusion, and we should be bringing every single technological tool that we can muster to fight back against the government. Anything they got, we should be able to have. Any measure they deploy against us, we should be able to develop a countermeasure. Full stop. 2A.
Totally. Kyle, to you. Should citizens be allowed to encrypt everything?
I'm of the opinion that citizens should just about be required to encrypt everything. And that if you're not, you should be publicly and socially shamed. The idea that the government can tell us that we can't hide our data because they want to be able to see it in case we do something bad, nonsense. Donald Trump is not my daddy. He can go worry about his own children. He does not get to interfere in my life.
Sorry for the cough there. I'd like to encrypt Sergio's browser history. I don't even know why at this point. Sergio, to you. Should the state control encryption?
Oh, no. I would not trust them with any encryption keys or whatever. They would soon lose it or publicly expose it. Almost every I feel like every year they have some social security database leak that shows off our numbers or whatever. So no, they can't be trusted with that.
All right. Brent, back to you. The category is the future of consent. Should consent be assumed or explicit?
Oh, dear God. Of course it has to be explicit. It has to be explicit across every single domain of interaction between human beings. We naturally understand this, with sexual relations. Like you have to have consent. Otherwise, you're like some creepy rapist pedo guy, and you might end up becoming president someday. But you know, like we don't extend this to every other thing. Like with governments, like we just assume consent. The government's like, well, we say that we own you and we can rule over you, and because it says so on this magic piece of paper over here called the Constitution. Like we run you. We don't have to ask you. You can show up and vote if you want to. If not, we're just going to assume that you agree with everything. It's terrible, man. Like I don't understand what is so controversial about voluntary interactions between people and consent. It is one of my hot button issues. People just accept it. It's so broadly accepted that we don't need consent, and it's just it's very, very weird.
I love that you did the Ryan Woodcraft and added a B to that word. So shout out to Ryan Woodcraft on that. Kyle, should silence equal agreement?
No. I know it's been memed to death on the no means no versus yes means yes debate, but I think that yes means yes is the only way to handle things in general. And you know that ties back to what Brent said. So I'm jealous that he got to answer first on this one because he was spot on. Consent is consent. A lack of consent or a lack of consent does not mean consent. It's nonsense I mean, like that'd be like saying that, well, you haven't told me not to come break into your house, so I'm allowed to break into your house. It's just obviously nonsense.
Absolutely. Sergio, should laws require opt-in instead of opt-out?
I like that question. Yeah, most laws should be opt-in, like with business regulations and stuff like that. I can understand like murder. You probably can't opt out of, murder or rape. You probably shouldn't be able to opt out of those laws. But almost everything else should be an opt-in. Like if I want a business license, or I should be required to get a business license if I want to use the government's services. If I don't want to use them, I shouldn't get the license.
Okay. Brent, back to you. The category is technocratic governance. Should experts outrank voters?
Well, let me ask a question. Like, who are the experts? Like, are you talking about somebody like Bill Gates, who was the expert that was advising us on public health and the shots that we all needed to take? Meanwhile, he was going around emailing Epstein, trying to figure out how to surreptitiously put VD medication in his wife's drink. Like those type of experts, like no, fuck off with that. Most of the experts that are acknowledged to be experts in the public sphere are just crony capitalists. They're thieves, they're crooks, and they're put forward to ostensibly have some sort of veneer of expertise, but they're not actually experts. It's all bullshit.
Absolutely. Kyle, should algorithms set policy?
Algorithms are equations. Humans coming up with an equation to say this is how we're going to do things in the future is fine. But those algorithms that are being chosen are policy. So it's the idea would be like, should I be able to have policy that automatically creates new policies? No, that's insanity. Should I be able to meta policy? No. Policy should be based on consensual interactions between adults who consent. Consensual consent. That's it.
All right. Sergio, should governance be automated?
I think there's a movie like that, Terminator or something. But no, they should not be automated. A machine cannot be held accountable. People can. Therefore, we need people in government. Well, okay, hold on. I almost messed up there. Shouldn't have a government. Shouldn't have a federal government. But if we're gonna have one, people are better than machines, because people we can mess with.
Luckily, Chase is looking over your shoulder there. And
yes, he is.
Caught your ear. Yep, 100%. Brent, to you, category is smart cities. Should cities track residents digitally?
No, that's super dangerous. That whole smart city thing is terribly dangerous, and it's tied into that whole digital ecosystem that we talked about. Like we should have privacy to move around the whole world as we see fit without being tracked. There's no reason to track us unless we are entering or exiting someone else's property, and at that point, it's their decision in what way, or actually, it's a joint decision. Like if you agree to enter someone's property and there's a surveillance thing that's posted, and you agree to the terms and conditions, fine, go on the property, do what you want. But as far as a city where the government gets to control and you get to potentially share data with other cities, and like that pit has no bottom to it, and so we can't allow it.
Absolutely
right.
Kyle, you should utilities monitor usage patterns?
Obviously, this should be based on consent with your user, but yes. And I know that some people are freaking out right now because they think I'm going to talk about weed, but no. The fact of the matter is, like, so I used to work in co-op utilities, believe it or not. And one of the things we looked for is if you had a spike in water usage. And we would send a thing and be like, hey, check your water heater and your pipes and make sure they're not leaking. Right? And that is a very different thing. And so if you have opted into a service like that, then the service should be able to watch you. The service should not then report that information to the government. Maybe you're wanting to waste your water. That's your own problem. But if a service can catch you as something that you are opting into as a private service, then all's good. Again, consent's consent.
I thought you were going to go against weed and really alienate the chat, so that was a good pivot. All right, Sergio, to you. Should surveillance be visible?
I know you don't like these kind of answers, but there shouldn't be any any surveillance at all unless it's private. And if it's private, then there's, it's whatever. I mean, they should tell you, but the government also shouldn't regulate and mandate whatever, like any disclosures like that. Again, I'm defending the awkward stance, but it's a libertarian stance.
I'll allow it. Brent, to you. Category is civil asset forfeiture technology. Should algorithms flag assets for seizure?
No, because an algorithm, as mentioned, is essentially a program. It is a set of instructions. And to operate that set of instructions or execute that piece of code, you have to have data, underlying data. And you should not have any bit of fucking data about my assets, my money, my transactions, my financial footprint, any of it. The government should have access to none of that. So therefore the algorithm or like, fine, like run the algorithm, but have no underlying data. But ultimately, at the end of the day, they shouldn't be able to execute that type of power towards citizens.
Absolutely. Kyle, to you. Should tech expand forfeiture powers?
I am not sure the root of your question here exactly, but I mean, tech shouldn't be able to steal your data as it is, and they already do everywhere for everything you do. You don't have a way to opt in, you don't have a way to opt out. They just take it. And so you should always be able to say, like, I want my data. You don't get to keep my data. You have a really weird issue from the libertarian perspective on how that data exists, though, right? If I go to a website and they scrape my digital fingerprint and they want to get together with all the other websites and do something with it, that's a private business doing private business things. That wouldn't be a whole lot different than you going to a private store and that store telling everyone else or around who you bought, what you bought. I'm sorry. So it's kind of a sticky situation, and I think that generally the market answer here is that people would choose the services and the websites that aren't doing that and aren't giving that data to other people. You don't currently have that option because the government decides which websites, et cetera, win. And they've already decided how you have to consent to your data being gone. And they've already said that they're going to take that data from you anyway. So, yes, there should be better forfeiture inside of this, but we should be able to choose to not have to have dealt with it in the first place, which we can't really currently do.
All right. Sergio, to you. Should forfeiture fund police budgets?
Oh, no. So this isn't exactly forfeiture, but in Georgia, we have this community that's well known for stopping any car that goes slightly above the speed limit to kind of egg on forfeiture claims. Like if they stop you on a traffic stop and then they see like a huge pile of cash or something in your vehicle, then that's when they initiate like civil asset forfeiture. They start pushing you in that direction. And it got so bad that the state of Georgia had to pass a law that says only the state patrol can stop you if you go above 10 miles per hour, the speed limit. Like that's so wild how things like that happen, how a city can fund itself just through like civil asset forfeiture, through speeding tickets and all the rest. So no, it creates a perverse incentive for the government to stop more people so it can fund itself more.
Okay. That's interesting. Brent, to you, the category is future governance models. Should governance be redesigned entirely?
Oh, absolutely. I'm so glad you asked this question, man. This is the greatest. People confuse government with governance, and then they accuse us anarchists of being like, we don't want any rules. We don't want any governance. It's like governance is good. Any private organization you participate in has governance. The difference between government and governance is government has a gun. Government is nothing more than an opinion backed by a death threat. And so society needs to build parallel systems. We need governance. It's very, very important. And we need to have the free market help us provide good governance, right? So we have all the things that we need. We need policing, protection of person and property. We need dispute resolution services. You can go down the list. Protection, like military type protection in case you get invaded. There's all these things that need to be provided, and the market is absolutely a miracle at providing low cost, high quality services. Would kick the shit out of the government. Anything the government tried to provide could just do it a million times better. If you just allow it. So yeah, unleash the free market. Let's see what the free market can do, because I think with our technology that we have today, an update would provide just astronomical improvements to our materialist being as human beings.
Excellent. You nailed that answer, and I'm glad I asked that question. Kyle, to you. Should old systems be sunset?
Ugh. So I am both a tech geek and a big proponent of being greener, as it were, since that's the thing. So I'm gonna kind of filibuster on this a bit. Your old systems can be used for basically forever. Until a thing is so broken it can't be used, repair is better than disposal. I'm assuming those are the systems we're talking about, and not just saying that, like, you know, because we've had a governance issue for a while, we have to get rid of that particular model. Computer gets too old to use for your day-to-day usage, make it a media server. There's free and easy ways to do it. Your car gets too old to drive, there is a kid out there who's 16 whose parents would love to have that, instead of it going to freaking cash, 877 cars for kids. Give it to somebody cheap. Continue giving things forward. Continue reusing things and recycling things. Systems all have great uses out there. An old computer, great thing to add to IoT for your network. You can sit there and have it run sensors and everything else. Windows can do it. Linux can do it better. Figure out how things are working, find local maker spaces, and make sure that the things that you've already bought and paid for are being used as long as possible.
All right. Sergio, to you. Should consent guide redesigned governance?
Yeah, if we start abolishing, I hope we do. If we start abolishing our government and starting to redesign it from the outside in, we really need to start looking at consent as the model of government. Because a lot of the reason why people have zero trust of the government right now is because we don't see it operating on a system of consent. Like, the entire populace consents to the idea of policing the Epstein's files, but that's not what's happening. Meanwhile, I don't consent to business license regulations, but I have to do it. So it's this awkward system where even if you consent, it's not going to happen. And if you don't consent, it's going to happen. So we need to redesign our system to be more focused on individual consent and what makes people, what encourages human development, basically.
All right. Enter your scores in the chat. Let's jump in and see what's going on here. 200 to Brent if he also has a GNS wristband.
The hell's a GNS wristband?
Not a clue. How do y'all start over? I missed the first hour, or I'll subtract points from me. Yeah, that's fair. Welcome to William. He's awesome, by the way. 100 to everyone who made it through the whole show without shitting their pants.
Damn it.
Fuck.
200 to Kyle for public shaming people who don't encrypt their data. 200 to Kyle. Trump is not my daddy.
That's got to go on a shirt.
I'd like a DNA test there. 100 to Kyle, not my daddy. 100 to Kyle for knowing Trump isn't his daddy. Trump isn't my daddy. 100 to Kyle, but Trump worrying about his own kids will never happen. Points to Brent. Another 100 to Brent for not saying why the first time reason is private. The government can still de-encrypt things. Or also decrypt. It's just expensive for them to do so. But as we all know, they can print infinite money, and even that doesn't matter. My daddy. 200 to Brent for my social contract. 100 to Kyle for a non-AI real background. I can assume everything is real in this new AI world. 100,000 to Free for writing such good questions. Thank you, Mike. No one ever says that. F off with that. 200. 100 to Brent for recognizing what many haven't, that Bill Gates is not an expert. 100 to Sergio for the Guardian chase, looking over him when it doesn't violate his privacy.
I have to turn it around when I'm looking at my browser history.
That's true. That's a good idea. 100 to Kyle because I said so. 100 to Sergio, I take bribes. 100 to Kyle, I'm freaking out about the weeds in my garden and in my greenhouse. 100 to Kyle, as long as he will consensually agree to take said points, sign here in triplicate for quality assurance purposes. Okay, I'll get that notarized. 100 to Kyle. I don't know what's going on. 100 to Sergio. They're all privately following you. Big brother told me so.
It's creepy.
Samantha got censored, so points to Brent. It's all BS. Sorry, they're censoring you, Samantha. Thanks for joining us. Minus 50 to Kyle. That was a really long answer. Which one? There was a lot of long ones. The reason they're taking so much data is because they're building AI psychological profiles on everyone so they can predict behavior. That's why the data centers and the RAM prices, everywhere. 100 to Sergio for having headphones for podcast at 8 p.m. and hosting ESPN 30 at 10 p.m. Points to Brent for telling Free his question was great. Did that happen? I must have missed that. Points to Kyle. Weed word was use dart of his question or his answer. He isn't a Fed, maybe a botanist. That might be true. 100 to Sergio for hating speed trap cities. 100, the government is nothing but an opinion backed by a death threat. Brent gets 100. The market needs to build parallel systems to what the government does, can do it cheaper, faster, and better. 100 to Kyle. He has fun with flags in his background. Bazinga. 100 to Sergio. I trust he nailed the answer. I didn't even listen to it. 50 to Kyle for invoking the filibuster before his next long answer. 100 to Kyle for mentioning reduce, reuse, recycle. It's also how they're ranked. 200 to Brent for the beautiful rosary from his visit to Rome. He's a great friend. Yeah, that was amazing. 100 for the first one to mention the one thing we can recycle that's absolute bullshit.
Pedophiles.
Wood chipper.
Recycle pedophiles.
100 to Kyle, filibuster. Glad he wasn't wearing Depends. He didn't even speak for 23 hours. This is fun. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you being here, Samantha. Minus 1,000 from free taxation fee for good questions. That's fair. All right, let's check it out here. Oh, it's getting close. And Brent in the lead, 71-89. Kyle, 70-42. Sergio, 64-50. Let's slide one more in here, and we will go to pick one. Brent, to you. Category is primary use case for crypto. Everyday payments, long-term savings, speculation, cross-border transfers, or black market avoidance.
Oh, that's a tough one. I would say black market avoidance, just because it's privacy, right? And so this is one of the problems I have with crypto is people are not using it for its intended purpose. We're supposed to be using this to transact, and people are using it as a speculative vehicle. You know, we're going to hodl this stuff and hope it goes up relative to the US dollar. That's not what it's there for, people. Like, we have the technology. Xano's great. We have privacy coins. There's other privacy tech out there. We're supposed to be sending, money back and forth, and transacting in it, and we're not really doing it. So other than, black market activities, which some good, some bad, and also escaping, government control. There's been some really good examples of transferring money from one country and just zoop, it's gone and it's in a different country. But I think that the black market one is the one I'm going to pick, because fuck the government. They shouldn't have any visibility in what we're doing as far as our transactions go.
All right. Kyle, to you. Primary function of the Bill of Rights: limit government, protect individuals, guide courts, educate citizens, or symbolic value?
It's to educate citizens. The Bill of Rights doesn't stop the government. We see that every day. The Bill of Rights' point and its purpose and everything about it is to tell you rights that you have, that no matter what the government says, they cannot violate. And if they do violate them, they tell you exactly what to do with it. They give you guns for a reason. They give you guns. They reinforce the fact that you have guns and you have rights over those guns for a reason. The entire purpose of the Bill of Rights is to tell you that if the government gets uppity, put them down.
All right. Sergio, to you. Primary cause of corruption: too much power, too much money, lack of oversight, cultural norms, or complex systems?
Politicians, but also I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say cultural norms. It's just the culture of being a politician to be corrupt. It's in their nature that when you are given power that cannot be disputed, that you just kind of turn corrupt. Humans are kind of crappy. We're pretty bad.
All right. Came out against humans. Let's see how that works in the chat. Brent, to you. Appropriate use of the death penalty: never, only for mass murder, only with overwhelming evidence, only at the state level, as currently practiced.
Like I said earlier, I'm a new person. I was so anti-death penalty for so long, and I think the Epstein thing really caused me to circle back on the question. And now I am pro-death penalty for government employees. If you are a government employee, you should be that should be an available remedy for the people, but not for the citizens. Government has no business having that power, and they should live in fear of their lives every single day that they're in power.
All right. Kyle, to you. Core purpose of due process: protect the innocent, ensure fairness, limit government, maintain order, or resolve disputes.
Well, I'm going to argue that resolve disputes covers all of those, and so that is the one to go with here. Due process gives you the chance to say that someone else is lying, and that they don't get just to say, because they have a wider audience than you do or a bigger voice than you have, that you've done a thing that you should be punished for it. It's the big problem with the situation right now with ICE that we've all seen and we've all complained about at this point. While I think that the border argument is less closed than it needs to be. I think that the fact that they're just saying, well, that guy looks like an immigrant, tackle him to the ground and then put bullets in his head is absurd. It's absolutely terrifying. And that's what due process is there to stop, is from, we don't want judge dread. We don't want the government to be the executioner.
All right. Sergio, to you. Body camera policy. Mandatory always, mandatory on duty, officer discretion, limited use, or optional.
I'm going to take the word mandatory on duty and to say mandatory when you're interacting with the civilian and the civilian consents. There are cases of government officials using body cam footage for facial recognition purposes. At that point, I would understand a civilian not wanting to consent. But in other cases, it should be used.
All right. Brent, to you. Primary purpose of borders: security, economic control, cultural cohesion, legal order, or administrative management.
Economic control all day, every day. This is an intervention in the free market. This is the way that the government gets to distort the market and pick winners and losers and put their fingers on the scale and manipulate people who would otherwise choose differently. That's why you have a border, and I think that is very dangerous, and it's very it costs us a lot of money. There's so much. There's a huge portion of the free market that we're excluded from when we start erecting these borders and we start regulating which goods can cross and which people can cross, and you're regulating the labor market, you're regulating all sorts of things. You do that by virtue of those borders. And if you get rid of them, you'd have a much freer market and much more prosperous society.
Totally agree. Kyle, to you. Who should control money creation? Market forces, independent central bank, Congress, executive branch, or algorithmic rules?
Market forces. The freer the market, the freer the people. It's one of the things that I've been preaching a lot lately, is that we need to start pointing out that we are free market libertarians rather than capitalists, because capitalism has gotten so freaking misused and people don't know what it means anymore. And so we should be pointing out that we are for the free market.
Absolutely. Sergio, to you. Primary immigration goal: economic growth, humanitarian relief, security, rule of law, or cultural integration?
Oh boy. Okay. I am going to say economic growth, because that promotes the others. When our country and other countries are economically prosperous, then security almost always goes away. I mean, the only people who need to steal are poor people. And if you're not poor, eventually you're taken care of, your needs are taken care of, and you don't need to create a security threat to further your own needs. So economics is kind of like the root of everything. So
Agree. I also want to point out, Paul Dar hooked me up during the show. There will be a new item in the prize shelf. We have the Trump golden diapers. So appreciate you, Paul Dar, for taking time. I mean, this guy works like 20 hours a day, and he hooked me up with something for the prize shelf. So appreciate you, Paul. Brent, back to you. Robotics in law enforcement: support only, surveillance only, enforcement allowed, force allowed, or prohibited?
Yeah, I'm going to answer this in the current paradigm, and that'd be prohibited. I think this is incredibly dangerous because the AI questions that we've had and the sort of data acquisition, Palantir, pre-crime, all these sorts of things, that's going to be embedded in robots, right? And so once you embody that AI, that digital information, and then you give it ability to intervene and to apply force to citizens, like that is absolutely terrifying. That's literally like Terminator level Skynet shit. Like it should be completely out of the question.
Yeah, totally agree. Kyle, to you. Primary goal of criminal justice reform: reduce incarceration, increase fairness, improve safety, lower costs, or restore trust?
I'm going to say reduce incarceration. That is what does all of those other things, and I'm sure that someone's probably going to think that I'm saying that we should just let more criminals off, and that's not exactly what's happening here. If there's not a victim, there's not a crime. We currently prosecute people constantly for victimless crimes, and that's ridiculous. What you do to your body in your house or to other consenting adults, it's no one else's business. The government shouldn't be able to throw you in a fucking box just because they decide they don't like it.
Agreed. Brent, to you, surveillance transparency, full disclosure, delayed disclosure, aggregate reporting, classified, or no disclosure?
Full immediate disclosure. I think that we got to know when we're being surveilled. Like I said, I think that would be the maybe. I don't know. I got very little faith in humanity as of late, but maybe that's the thing that's going to kick us free, and we realize exactly how much they're tracking every damn thing that we do. If we had a pop up in real time every time it happened with a link that we could inspect as far as like how this was being used and where the data was coming from, I think it might cause a revolution because people, they kind of know, but they don't really know. Being in tech, I see what big data looks like and how much you can actually gather, like even stupid things like I work on websites and stuff, and the amount of data logging and information that's being stored, metadata, it's incredibly voluminous, and you can do a lot of really interesting things once that data is in place. And so I say immediate full disclosure, and let's see if we march on DC.
Brett playing Sergio there and coming out against humans. So Kyle's the only one that's pro-human at this point. Kyle, to you, government risk from crypto, tax evasion, criminal use, loss of monetary control, financial instability, or no real risk?
The government has like terrifying risk from crypto, right? They want to hold power, and so loss of power is exactly what it's going to do. As a person, there's no real risk for you having crypto. It's an asset like anything else is. We should be pushing for people to use any type of money they want to use. That includes crypto. That includes, if for some reason you think Taco Bell napkins are worth money and you want to start a trade with Taco Bell napkins, who has the right to tell you not to do that? Taco Bell, I guess, if you're stealing them, but otherwise.
All right. Sergio, to you, primary role of police: protect rights, prevent crime, enforce laws, maintain order, or community service?
The primary role of policing is to protect rights. That is including my right to not be aggrieved against by another person who wants to steal my stuff. And also, when it comes to police, not to have my right of privacy infringed upon through things like flock cameras and the like. Historically, I've studied, I mentioned before the show that I'm studying American history to be a historian. I've studied crime, the history of policing, and it has, from the beginning, never been about rights. It has always been about control.
All right. Last three questions. Brent, to you, alternative to the death penalty: life without parole, long fixed sentences, restorative justice, case-by-case discretion, or exile?
Oh boy, I think we should always be biasing towards restorative justice. That's the entire point, or that should be the point, is trying to, as much as humanly possible, make the aggrieved victim whole. And this is what our justice system doesn't do a good job of. Just want to throw people in cages and make a bunch of money off of that whole thing with the prison industrial complex. And I think there's a time when you need to exile people or you need to incarcerate people. There's some people that are just so bad that they can't be out in polite society, and you can do that in a private prison system, a private justice system as well. But ultimately, I think we should be focusing on restorative justice, make the victim whole, and that restitution. If you've really harmed somebody, you should sometimes spend the entire rest of your life doing whatever you can to either monetarily or in any way you can provide some sort of restorative justice to where the victim feels like they've been compensated in some way for their victim status.
All right, Kyle, you. Role of technology in due process: support only, assist decisions, replace processes, automate outcomes, or exclude entirely.
I think that it should be support only, right? Technology shouldn't be making decisions for people. People make decisions for people. But technology can absolutely be the best way to keep notes, to make it easy to, for like evidence in a trial so both sides can see it instantly. You don't have to sit and have a printed copy of every piece of this to go look at. Technology should also be admissible by defense always. Technology should be admissible as evidence, basically, right? If you have something proving that you were on your computer creating new entries in Sergio's history and thereby couldn't have killed somebody, perfect.
All right. But didn't realize we were ending on the punchline there. Sergio, to you. Sergio, did I skip you one time? I think I missed the question.
I think you did.
Okay.
I wasn't paying attention. I'm
gonna give you two then. So
no. I think the chat can compensate me with points. That's how it should work.
That's a good thing. All right. So last question of the night then. Primary cause of deficits: overspending, low taxes, economic cycles, war, or entitlements.
Darn. So if you go by numbers, it is entitlements. But admittedly, the entitlement system is way more economically, it has more benefits than like war. Like we don't get anything by war. Food stamps, the money goes back into the economy. Like, money goes to McDonald's. McDonald's buys the potatoes and the meat and all that. But war just goes to the military industrial complex, and then it goes to killing people. So I'm going to say war. War is why we are poor.
Yeah, like $11 trillion since 9/11 or something like that.
Probably
Crazy
just now.
Yeah, plus interest. Yeah. All right. Enter your scores in the chat. Let's see if my error in skipping the question there works out well for Sergio. 100 to Sergio would give you more, but the government restricts my spending. That's true. I'm tracking your transactions, William. 100 to Brent. He had me at Zano. F the government. 200 to Brent. 100 to Brent for F the government. I assume consent is not required.
Protection is, though.
Put the uppity government, the most Southern thing Kyle has ever said. 200. 100 to Sergio. Humans are the worst. 100 to Sergio. My AI tells me I'm a good person. Who is right? You are my AI agent. Minus 100 Kyle. There is no law with this government that can really a cartel mafia regime. 100 to Sergio. That was typed by an AI bot because the human is a crappy person. 100 to Kyle for the free market freedom. 200 to Brent. If I get to be a guest on Aiming Up.
Come on in, brother.
Make it happen. Make it happen. Two of my favorite guys. That'd be awesome. 100 to Sergio. The National Academy of Sciences did the largest ever study on immigration and found it was a net positive for the economy. Oh, absolutely. Oh, and I should shout out that I was on If by Whiskey this week, so go back and watch that. It was a great time with Jake and Mark. So thanks for having me. To Paul. 100 to Paul.
That's short for billion, Free.
Oh, was that billion? 2 billion. That's fair. I thought it was a typo. Yeah. 100 to Paul for the Trump golden diapers. Thanks for increasing the value of gold. It's going up. 200 to Kyle, no victim, no crime. 100 to Kyle for letting the rainwater bandit out of prison. Yeah. 100 to Kyle, no victim, no crime. More points. And 200 to Brent, full immediate disclosure, but 6 or 7 for your black pill. 100 to Kyle, no victim, no crime. Points to Brent for I'm not gonna get that. I'm not gonna get
Voluminous. It means a lot. Big.
Yeah. I know what it means. I just couldn't say it right now. That's one of the errors that I've come up with tonight. -20 to whoever is playing a video game in the background. Who was that? I don't know.
There was
100 to
beats
Kyle.
going on in the
Was your
background.
sister on the Halloween show? I see a resemblance. Maybe I'm just high on the game shows. Dude, Kyle, Yo Quiro, 158 points. Are you typing with your feet? What's going on there? 100 to Kyle for the free to stare. 100 to Sergio for fighting for my right to party. There's a lot going on. I'm not gonna make it through 20 more of these. 178 to Sergio. It's all about contoral.
Woo!
Contoral. Hit the contoral button on your computer. 100 to Kyle for the multitasking. Oh, it was your great aunt Frida. 198 to Brent. The people in the Epstein files like the victim. Oh my God.
What?
F them hoe ass cameras. That's the best comment we've had on the last 20.
I love that.
100 to Brent for restorative justice. 100 to Brent. 100 to Sergio. I will autograph a self-portrait, but you need to put it in the background for your next appearance on the
Deal.
show. My Alexa just gave 100 to Kyle. We got decimals for Kyle. 200 to Kyle because he some bro love here. That's nice. 100 to Sergio for asking for compensation. Boom. 200 to Sergio for betting against the government. That's fair. 200 to Sergio because free skipped him. 200 to Sergio because I can. 100 to Sergio for not answering the script question. I was going to give 100 to Sergio until he asked for it.
Damn.
100 to Sergio for war entitlements. 100 to Sergio, F war. 100 to Brent, hope he wins. 100 to Sergio, war creates more welfare via blowback from refugees. 200 to Sergio, war is because we are poor. 164 to Sergio, war makes you poor. Another 26 for the thrime. 100 to Sergio, war is why we're poor. I will give 100 to Sergio for his answer against war. 200 to Kyle for being such a rebellious patient after surgery. Let's see what that did.
The day I got home, I worked on a car. And
oh my God,
people
was
were
this
mad at me for
close? Was this close? Crazy. Brent with the win, 91-80.
Wow.
Just behind, what do we got? Like 200 points separating everybody. Kyle and then Sergio. Sergio, third place, almost pulled it out at the end, mostly because I fuck everything up. What'd you think? Oh,
You moved me backstage, man.
Everything up. Speaking of fucking everything up.
No, it was great. I had a fun time. I almost squeaked it out, but Kyle, he's a good guy. He's really great at his answers.
I don't think you got any points for being an awesome young dude in our movement that inspires me and makes me think like maybe we aren't as effed as I think we are most days. So I wish you would have gotten some points for that. What do you want to give a shout out to?
I'd like to shout out the Classical Liberal Caucus. We are in my opinion, the libertarians of the libertarians. We're focused on the old school messaging on the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, things that the American public already knows. We are focused on elections and showing up to state conventions to convince state parties to start running candidates. So that is lpclc.org. Check us out.
You are awesome, brother. And yeah, check out Sergio on X, Sergio for Liberty. Get in his X feed. Tell him to keep doing what he's doing. I have high hopes for this young man and really appreciate him. Thanks for being here, brother.
No problem.
Second place was Kyle. What'd you think, bud?
This is like the 5th time I've been on this show, and it's been fun every time. I think every time I've been on this show, something from it has ended up in the opening for the future. And I'm not sure that's going to happen this time. That's a little sad. But that just means that Amanda and I have to come back on at some point and give encore performance as distant relatives.
April Fool's Day is not far away, so we should start planning that. What do you want to give a shout out to?
Definitely LP Alliance and the newly reformed International Alliance of Libertarian Parties. There's been a ton of work done. LPA is trying to get 100 Povertarians to Grand Rapids. The IALP just added like 30 new members, and are having the first Congress since the refounding in the U.S. This month. For those who want to help LPA's goal, definitely go to lpalliance.com. And we're going to have really cool a libertarian party, basically, that people can be at from anywhere in the country next month. So definitely come hang out. Definitely come listen to all the different speakers that are going to be there and everything, and help us get Povertarians to Grand Rapids. The fact of the matter is that there's a ton of people that do so much work for the libertarian movement who will never be able to afford the $2,000 it typically costs to get to national for the entire time. And so we're trying to make sure that those people who have done all this work for the party get to actually put their voice in at Grand Rapids at the national convention, so that it can really be heard from everybody. Everybody's voice matters, and it shouldn't require you to have lots of money to be able to say, here's how the movement should be focused. So help us in that.
Yeah, and I think you guys found a day where I'll be there as well. I will be a donor as well, and looking forward to it. You guys are doing amazing work. Follow Kyle on X.
File me, that's fine.
He's Orpheus something.
Orphanus.
It's orphanus. I don't know. It's on the screen, but also LP_allies. Appreciate you, brother. And let's jump to our big winner of tonight. Let's just do this really quick because I wanted to do that again. It's not your birthday, but it was too good not to use.
I'll take
our
it.
big winner of tonight, Brent. What are you thinking, bud?
Hey, man, I love this second time around. It was a completely different experience. And I really want to thank you, Free, for going on Jake and Mark's show, If by Whiskey. I listened to that whole episode, and I learned so much about the show, everything that goes into it, the thought process in it, the effort that goes into it from you and Terry. It was you're a really thoughtful dude, and I really appreciate what you're doing here, bringing us together. I mean, getting to know Kyle and Sergio through this whole process has been really delightful for me. I've enjoyed myself. I think my answers were better this time. I'm trying to play the game as best I can and sort of, vibe with the entire theme of the show, man. I think it's a great thing you're doing here, and I'm happy to be a part of it in any way.
No, you're a super underrated dude in the movement, man. And I wish you all the success. Check out Brent, the Aiming Up podcast. You can find it everywhere. And he's got the cool threads on anarchosyndicate.com. And he's also got the Black Guns Matter. And you can follow him on X at BGetsBetter and Aiming Up podcast. Appreciate you, brother. Let's jump in and add Terry back in here. Terry, what'd you think tonight?
Why did we have to have a birthday cake tonight?
I specifically requested it, Terry.
Oh my gosh, Brent, stop.
Check your DMs.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, you guys were great. I know we do these shows a lot and a lot of times twice a week, but I learn stuff every single solitary time, and I really, really appreciate that. Of course, the chat was on fire as always, making me laugh and just having a good time. A lot of good feedback in the chat too here at the end of the show. So I appreciate everybody. I really do. Do you want to know what's coming up, Free, or do you want me to hush? Yes, please. Okay. Somewhere here it tells me. Okay. So on Friday night, Friday afternoon, actually, February 14th, the Valentine's Day California Libertarian Party Great Debate for Libertarian Party Chair will be happening. And that is not going to be streamed. It will be recorded and then it'll be shared after the fact. And Evan McMahon, Wes Benedict, and James Ostrowski will be there to debate all things Libertarian Party. And then tomorrow at 2 p.m., Free was kind enough to interview Leslie, and would love to see everybody there and get support for what she's doing for the Oklahoma bill and for people that are victims of COVID protocols.
Absolutely. Join us for that. And yeah, we're off next Tuesday. I'm taking a little break and enjoying Southern California for a little bit. And you can follow me and Terry on X. I am Smarter Game Show. She is Bats T76. And we have our swag up at freedomsuperstore.com. The shorts will be up shortly on YouTube at Freedom Uncut. And Xano is our sponsor for tonight. Your privacy matters. Choose Xano, the leading blockchain platform that prioritizes confidentiality and security. And if you're new to the space, check out intro.xano.org and get a great overview of what's going on with privacy coins. We will be in California next weekend, then Florida, Virginia, North Carolina, Texas, and we will be at the National Convention in Grand Rapids in May. And we also have You Are the Power on March 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And thank you again to all of our subscribers. We appreciate you all. Appreciate everybody in the chat. You made this a lot of fun. And we will catch you online next weekend from California. Appreciate everybody. Thanks for tonight.